Hello student, welcome you all to the fourth lesson of this session. Today we are going to discuss a poem, My Mother at 66, from your textbook Flamingo. The poem My Mother at 66 is written by the poet Kamala Das, was born in 1934 in Kerala and died in 2009. In her early part of her career, she started writing by her pen name Madhavi Kutti. And so far as this poem is concerned, in this poem she describes a feeling of love and attachment towards her aging mother. This poem is based on mother-daughter relation, and the poet shares her feelings for her mother. Basically, her writings bring out her true inner feelings, and so far as this poem is concerned, this is a lyric poem which is subjective in nature, as the poet has written about her own life, about her own experience, and about her relationship with her mother, aging mother, who was already 66. So before we can start discussing the poem, it is desirable for you students that you should have your textbook with you, so that you can relate to your text the poem My Mother at 66. To start with, we have got some words, some difficult words that are to be dealt with in this poem My Mother at 66, and here they are. We have got a word doze. Here it is. Suppose doze means a short sleep which is normally experienced by old people. One more word is ashen. Ashen is a derivative of the word ash. That means like ash or pale. One more word is corpse. Corpse means a dead body, human dead body. It is different from carcass. Carcass is the dead bodies of birds and animals. Corpse is a dead body, a human dead body. We have got one more word, spilling, that we'll have to come across while discussing this poem. Spilling, here in context of the poem, to move out in great numbers. One more word is wan, meaning is unnaturally pale. And last but not least, we have got a word ache, means pain. So without wasting any more time, let's move on to the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. To start with, let me read out the poem. My mother at 66, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few years away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So students, you can notice one thing about this poem, that this poem is consisting of a single sentence. You can notice a full stop at the end of the poem only, and this poem is punctuated by commas. So let me summarize this poem in a simple term. Once the poet went to visit her mother. She was on her way back to the airport to return to Cochin. So the poet visited her mother, and on her way back to the airport to return to Cochin, she looked at her mother, who was seated beside her in the car. So the mother was accompanying her. The mother was accompanying the poet while she was on her way back to the airport, and the mother was seated beside her in the car. And at that time, her mother had dozed up to sleep, and her aging face was of the color of the ass. The mother was dozing, and her aging face was giving the impression of the color of the ass. Her mouth was open. The poet's mother's mouth was open, and that resembled a dead body. You could see corpse. Corpse means a human dead body. So the poet's mother had dozed up to sleep, and her aging face was of the color of the ass, and the poet's mother mouth was open and resembled a dead body. Now the poet realized that her mother was old and she felt the pain for her. The poet was feeling pain for her mother, who was already 66, and the poet was apprehending something untoward, some untoward incident that is coming up in the near future. That means she is very old now, and she might confront the pain of separation from her mother. After that, the poet wanted to shift her attention to something else, because she couldn't afford to see her mother in that condition, face looking like ass and resembling to a dead body, etc. So in order to come out of the gloom, the poet shifted her attention and looked out of the car's window. You could see here that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at the young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But so the poet wanted to shift her attention from her mother to something else, and this time she shifted her attention and looked out of the car's window. She saw young trees pass by, and little children were running out of their houses. These things were contrary to the aging face of her mother. These things means these young trees sprinting, and the merry children, the happy children spilling out of their homes. So these things were contrary to the aging face of her mother. The young trees and the happy children symbolized energy, life, and happiness. After reaching the airport, the poet glanced at her mother one more time, who was appearing weak and pale, just like the moon in the winter season, which seems to have lost all its strength. Yet again, the poet felt the pain and fear of losing a mother. The poet was reminded of her childhood, when she used to fear losing a mother. The same childhood fear is still persisting in her, and more importantly, she might lose her mother forever, because one can never be sure the age in which her mother is now. She is 66, so anything can happen. So the poet is feeling the pain. The poet is feeling the pain of separation from her mother. Yet, the poet did not express her feelings. She smiled and said See you soon, Amma. So she smiled and said, see you soon, Amma. So she tried to hide her emotion. The poet tried to hide her feelings. And she just gave a smile and told her mother, see you soon, Amma. Hoping against the hope. She was expecting to see her mother yet again when she would come here the next time. So here in these last few lines, one can notice that the poet is really touched. She was really melancholic. She was really feeling the pain of separation from her mother. But she did not want to reveal her feelings. She did not want to reveal her emotion. She wanted to hide everything from her mother. The poet was optimistic. At the same time, she was pessimistic as well, because you know that the age in which her mother is now, she is 66, and there is least hope of seeing her mother again when she would come back to this place again. But at the same time, she is a bit optimistic as well when she said that, okay, see you soon, Amma, and giving a smile all the way. So this shows a literary device that is known as oxymoron, paradox. The poet is optimistic, at the same time she is pessimistic as well. So this is truly a lyric poem with subjectivity. Kamala Das is known for her subjective feelings. In many other poems that she has written, one can notice the same feature, that she mostly in most of her poetry she has highlighted human relationship and human feelings. Okay, thank you. We can come back with some expected questions, more expected questions from this poem in lesson 5th. Thank you.